Hi everyone, it's Miss Brenner here with your May 4th through May 10th agenda for the week. I know that you've been extremely busy with your careers, with schoolwork, with the extra craziness that's been happening in the world recently. And I just want to start off by saying I am extremely proud of you guys. After grading week one, you guys have been doing phenomenally. Your writing is extremely touching, and I cannot wait to see what you guys submit over the next couple weeks. I know several students have reached out to me with questions and concerns about what's happening in marking period 4, so I do just want to touch on the grading requirements just a little bit. For starters, this is your weekly agenda update. So if you're watching this, you're already getting step 1 done. Step 2 for this week is to complete 5 out of the 6 activities for the week. The assignments open at 10 a.m. on Monday and they close at 8 a.m. the following Monday. So this will open on May 4th at 10 a.m. and will close May 11th at 8 a.m. That is the same as the past 2 weeks. So as we move into week 3, the grading policy is still the same. For every successfully completed assignment, you will receive a 1 in the grade book. For any unsuccessfully completed assignments, you'll get a 0. And you get 1 skipped assignment per week, which would be left blank then, unless you have had any kind of contact with me discussing those requirements otherwise. All right, with that being said, several students have asked what is satisfactory for an assignment, what is satisfactory per the week, and what is satisfactory for marking period 4. So let's start off with what makes it satisfactory for an assignment. If we go into our Schoology page and we click on this week's folder, you'll see each of the different activities have their own folders. And therefore, in order to get the point for activity 1, you will have had to have completed everything that is in that folder. So if there were 2 videos in this folder, you would have to watch both of them to get that point. If you only watch one of the videos, you do not get that point then. So please make sure you complete everything that is in the folder. Now, just like the prior week, this folder from the past week, from week 2, will move down to the bottom of the page, and the folder that you cannot quite see yet, which is for the 4th through the 10th, will become public and will move up to the top. And those assignments will show up on the right-hand column. Now, if you have to complete everything in the folder to get that 1 point, you need to complete 5 of the 6 folders in order to get your 5 out of 6 points for a successful week. Now, with that being said, the weeks are going to become cumulative, which means that they will pile on top of each other. If you cannot complete each week successfully, like let's take our examples of our different students again, if student Z continues to only do 2 out of the 6 assignments and by the 4th or 5th week realizes that that's not enough points to have a successful marking period 4, it becomes extremely difficult for student Z to make up those assignments. So if you are concerned about your grade or you are concerned about makeup work, please reach out to me. I have been reaching out to students about assignments. We can make adjustments, we can talk about it, but be forewarned, it becomes difficult to make up assignments. With that being said, I do want to go back to, we had an extremely successful first week. If you want to know what your grade is, because Schoology updates on a weekly basis right now, and so if you cannot see your grade on Schoology, please feel free to email me, contact me. I will happily talk about your grade with you and see what we can do as a team to try and make sure that this is a successful marking period 4 for you. All right. With grading being discussed, I want to go into our different activities for this week. So, activity 1 is audio notes. I have recorded audio notes for you once again. There are 2 parts. Part 1 is for activity 1. You will need to watch the Ed puzzle and answer the questions, just like before. This one's about dystopian societies. I go through the different notes with you, and I ask a couple questions. And that would be everything for you to complete activity 1 and get that 1 point. Activity 2 is creative writing. We have several different writing prompts this week for May 4th through May 10th. You need to research and inform about a national holiday in May. How did the holiday come to be, and how do we celebrate? So there's a lot of different ones, some really popular, some maybe less known about. So please feel free to inform us. You could write a thank you note to a friend, family member, or other important, inspiring person in your life who has impacted your life for the better. You could document an imaginary species that you have just discovered. What is the creature's physical attributes and behavior mentality? What is your greatest achievement in your life? How did you overcome obstacles to achieve this goal? So those are our 4 different creative writing prompts for this week. Please feel free to pick any of those 4, and that will get you 1 point. Activity 3 is silent reading. I've talked about our typical silent reading. You may be doing more than the 60 minutes, and that's awesome. I just ask that you do 60 minutes minimum. You can split that up however you like. For our discussion, I'm going to ask that you either say whether you recommend this book, or if you think that maybe there's better options out there. You're going to tell us a little bit about the genre and what you either like best or what you find is lacking in your book that you are currently reading. Activity number 4 is the second part of the audio notes. So it is linked in the folder for activity 4. It's going to be called Dystopian Societies Part 2. It's hosted by me. There are a couple questions. You answer the questions, watch the Edpuzzle video, and that will get you your 1 point for activity 4. Activity 5 is news articles. We have several different platforms available to choose from, but please feel free to also go outside of the ones that I offer. There are a lot of different news resources on the internet. There's also a lot of different documentary style news stations on YouTube. Please feel free. I'm always looking for new ones to watch. So if you have one up your sleeve that you find extremely compelling, please tell us about it. Activity 6 is dystopian analysis. For this discussion, I'm going to ask that after you do the audio notes, you answer part 1 and part 2 of this discussion. Part 1 is use any dystopian movie, book, or video game as an example. What I'd like you to do is explain what form of dystopian society your example would fall under. So you would have to watch the notes to quite understand what I'm asking for there. Part 2 would be dystopian societies over-exaggerate negative elements within our own society. Based on this idea, think about the world that we live in. Are there any connections to the 9 key elements of a dystopian society reflected in our own lives? So it doesn't have to be something overly dramatic. It doesn't mean that anything terrible is happening in our own society, but just dystopias play up the exaggerated negative elements that we find in our own world. I'm asking for one example that could connect back to either your example from part 1 or a different example. All right, guys, and that is all 6 activities for this week of May 4th through the 10th. If you have any questions or concerns, I did already send out the email with our Zoom meetings for this upcoming week. If those times don't work for you, please know I do have office hours. That will be Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday from 9 a.m. to 11 a.m. This week. And so you can email me. I am at my desk at those times. Sometimes I'm emailing other students, so it might take me a little bit till I get back to you. But also email me after you're done with work, or email me after you're done with whatever activities you have to get done. I'll get back to you as soon as I can. All right? And so I hope you have a wonderful day. Also, keep up the great work. You've been doing a phenomenal job. And I can't wait till I get to see you guys again. Bye.